Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Iunik Centella Calming Gel Cream in a skincare routine that is suitable for normal to oily blemish prone skin. Now this cream can be used daily in the morning as well as evening. It is a gel type moisturizer. It absorbs into the skin. It does not feel greasy or heavy, and it contains a tea tree leaf extract which has anti-inflammatory properties. It contains Centella extract which is very hydrating, calming and soothing. It can even help to reduce redness prone skin, and it contains niacinamide which is a brightening ingredient. Now I want to include it in a skincare routine so that you can see the order of application as well as have an idea of what a skincare routine can look like for those specific skin concerns. But of course you could exchange the products to what you may have already at home. It does not conflict with anything. It is very hydrating and gentle on the skin, and you could also just use it on its own. So everywhere, now where I'm getting into my example skincare routines, everywhere where you can see optional, you do not have to include it, but you can. But overall this would be a great skincare routine that is suitable for normal to oily blemish prone skin. So I want to get started with my morning skincare routine, starting off with the cleansing step. So first of all, of course you could go ahead and just wash your face with water. However, if you have an oilier skin type, I recommend still using a cleanser. This can be a gentle cleanser that is suitable for oily skin, or you could work with a salicylic acid cleanser. So choose either one of them, or you may want to just alternate between your gentle cleanser and exfoliating acid cleanser. That's fine as well. Wash your face, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. The next step would be adding an hydrating and soothing toner, which you can go ahead and do so, or just skip it if you do not want to include it. Apply it to the skin and leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Then the next step would be any specific serums and treatments. If you have multiple ones, use it, basically apply it from the thinnest to the thickest texture. Once you have applied it, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then you're going to apply the Centella Calming Gel Cream to the skin, and then follow with sun protection afterwards. As for an evening skincare routine, it can look pretty much the same, just without the sunscreen step, and then you have your cleanser, toner, serum, and then lastly the moisturizer. Or if you have a bit more of a stubborn sunscreen and or makeup that you have worn throughout the day, and the cleanser on its own is not strong enough to properly remove it from the skin, go ahead and do a double cleansing method. Using at first micellar water or an oil or balm cleanser, and then move on to your usual gentle cleanser or salicylic acid cleanser to wash your face. And then continue with the rest of your skincare routine. In the evening there is no sunscreen needed. Now this would be the recommendation that I can share with you when working with this cream, as I already mentioned. And if you want to go over the morning as well as evening skincare routine in your own time, and you want to know more about some additional information, you will find everything in the description box down below. You just need to click on the link there. You will see the PowerPoint slides, and you can even download them. For those who are already familiar with my PowerPoint slides, I do want to emphasize that I'm constantly updating the way I'm presenting my information in my PowerPoint slides. So if you are going to look back a few months ago, now you will find more information about it as well. So I recommend always going back and checking back into my PowerPoint slides. You may find some information that you didn't know about, and then you can use it and just download it if that's helpful for you. So I do want to give you a little heads up of this as well. Other than that, this is the PowerPoint slides that I want to share with you. I now want to move on to the entire application. I have the cleanser right here, toner, treatments, moisturizer, as well as sunscreen. I'm going to go with an evening skincare routine, and I'm going to show you now the application of all those products so that you can see it visually, how you can also layer it. But of course you just could cleanse your face and then use the cream on its own, and that's fine as well. So I'm going to get started with the first step, which is the cleansing step. I'm going to use the Inkey Salicylic Acid Cleanser. That one is really nice, and so if you're looking into a salicylic acid cleanser, this could be a recommendation that I can share with you. If you have a different one, go ahead and replace it. Just make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you're going to use your cleanser, since the directions may change. You can wash your face above the sink or take the cleanser with you in the shower. Either way is fine. Just make sure to properly wash your face. In this example, it is advised to apply the cleanser on wet skin. So the first step that I'm going to do is now wetting my face and neck with lukewarm water. Then I'm going to massage the cleanser onto the skin for about 30 seconds to a minute. If you have blemish prone, to some extent acne prone skin, you could also leave your salicylic acid cleanser on the skin for a minute longer, and then you're going to rinse it off. In between, to make sure that you can properly remove your cleanser, sunscreen and or makeup, I can recommend working with a gentle and soft washcloth so that you can properly remove it from the skin, especially when doing this above the sink, and then you're going to pat the skin dry. So let's go ahead and do this. So now take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So once you're done with your cleansing step and you have pat the skin dry, you can immediately move on to the next step. There's no need to wait in between. Now, of course, if you just want to use the cream on its own, now take about a bean-sized amount and then evenly apply it all over your face and neck, and then there you have it. And during daytime, don't forget sun protection. However, since I'm going with the routine, the next step after your cleansing step would be applying an hydrating and soothing toner. So if you have one, go ahead and include it. I'm going to use the I'm From Rice toner. You can apply it with your hands or with a cotton pad. Now, when applying it with the cotton pad, use more or less about a coin size amount. Just make sure to not entirely soak up the cotton pad, because then you're going to waste quite a lot of product and you're going to end up with too much. And you may prefer applying it with your hands, because then you can control the amount of product that you're going to use much better and you're not going to waste too much product. So with a toner like this, based on the texture, you can go with more or less 10 drops. If you're using a toner that has like a thicker texture, then you may want to go with about 5 drops. So over as a general guide, use between 5 to 10 drops on the palm of your hand and then evenly blend it all over. Also, don't forget to give it a good shake before applying it. Rub your hands together and then evenly blend it all over your face and neck. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. If that's the case with any skincare product, please rinse it immediately with water. So once you have applied it, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Then you can move on to the next step. So if you have specific serums or overall treatments that you want to include, go ahead and do so. I recommend using no more than 3 serums or treatments in general in a skincare routine. Otherwise, you may end up with too much product and it cannot properly absorb into the skin. So as an example, I have the ordinary serums. I have the Niacinamide serum as well as Ascorbyl Glucoside. So based on how much you're going to use, this depends on the texture. If you have a serum that has a very thick texture and sticky texture, I recommend going with 2 to 3 drops. If you have a more lightweight serum, use between 4 to 6 drops. And if you have a water-like texture, use between 5 to 8 drops. Or if you should have a lotion, use about a pea-size amount. So I'm going to apply the ordinary Ascorbyl Glucoside just as an example. If you're going to use more than just one treatment, then again, layer from the thinnest to the thickest texture. And then go ahead and evenly blend it all over your face as well as neck. Now you can apply it with your hands by just applying the drops on the palm of your hand and then do the application, or apply it on the fingertips or immediately to the face and then start blending. Whatever application method works the best for you, go ahead and do so. So, and once you have applied your specific serums and treatments in general, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, if you want to know more about the different textures and treatments in general, you will find everything in the description box down below under additional information. Then once you're done with your serum and treatment step, you can immediately move on to the next step, which now would be the application of the Centella Calming Gel Cream. And it has a gel-like texture, so I recommend not overdoing it. It kind of feels a bit like the aloe vera texture, where you think you would need to use a bit more, but then once you started blending, you end up with too much product. So I recommend starting off with a little bit, and then if it shouldn't be enough, you can always use a bit more. Use enough so that you can evenly blend it all over your face and neck, but at the same time, it shouldn't sit thickly on the skin surface. It kind of absorbs into the skin if you're using the right amount. So I recommend starting off with a little bit. You do not need a lot of product. So about that much, more or less. And then evenly blend it all over your face as well as neck. So, and once you have applied it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now this would be it for the evening, and during daytime you would follow with sunscreen afterwards to protect the skin when being exposed to the sun. And then there you have an example skincare routine that is working well for normal to oily skin and blemish prone skin. Now of course, keep in mind, as already mentioned earlier, some of the steps are optional steps. You do not have to include them. This just should give you an overall idea of what can work well when looking into this specific cream, especially if you have a bit more of a sensitive, redness prone skin that you're trying to calm and hydrate and soothe, but not in a heavy way. And so again, I do want to remind you, you will find all the PowerPoint slides in the description box down below. And if you find this video helpful and you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to learn more about skincare in general, you want to see the different applications, I have several videos for you on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.